2021 marks the 50-year anniversary of SDI, and we're kicking off our anniversary campaign with a series of videos that highlight the essential nature of MRO supply chain and recognizes the supply chain heroes like Nguyen here, who put in the work every day to make it happen. So thanks for joining us, Jen. Um,
Thanks for
Jen,
having me.
thank you. I mean, I'm so excited to have you here. You've been promoted recently. Congratulations.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
and it's not uncommon to see that the hard work that you're putting in and all of the obvious improvements that you're making in MRO supply chain in the business process. That you obviously it's great to see that you're being promoted and that we're putting more women into leadership roles like this. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your role and a little bit about your background here?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I'm Jennifer Nguyen. I'm a client procurement manager at SDI. Um, I actually started off in a different role in SDI, and I've been promoted several times since. So it's been a very exciting period. I started off as, I think my formal title was like a procurement specialist, and then I was a category management associate.
Mhm.
And then I became a senior sourcing associate. And yeah, recently I've been promoted to a client procurement manager. So I've been through a lot of different roles at SDI. You know, like you said, I'm very honored. And I'm glad that they're recognizing women. So it's been a very exciting time. My current role involves managing the supply base and identifying opportunities and driving savings and creating efficiencies for my clients.
Excellent. I mean, so you've been here for, would you say 4 or 5 years now?
It's actually three and a half,
Oh,
three and a
wow.
half years now. Yeah.
And it seems
I know
like
I've
it's
been
been
through a
so much
lot in three and
longer,
a half
right?
years. Yeah, yeah. It's been, yeah. I'm one of the things I'm most shocked about is how long I've been here, but in the most positive and respectful light. It's just been such a dynamic experience. There's so much to learn, and yeah, I just keep learning. So very excited.
You are. You're like one of our shining stars here at SDI because you have, like you said, you have been in so many roles and you have done so much, and to be promoted to client procurement manager. So you're working with our clients every day. You're making an impact on what they're sourcing. How where the savings are, where they could be sourcing it better. Um, Tell me a little bit about what attracted you to SDI when you first started here 3 years ago. You come from a supply chain background, right?
Actually, no, I don't come from a supply chain background. I was a business major in school, so I took a couple of supply chain classes.
Mm.
But when I graduated school, I was recruited for a management development program for a bank. So I did that for a couple years. Realized it wasn't my cup of tea. So then I wanted to get into supply chain procurement because those are, I remembered in school, the classes I was most interested in. So what attracted me to SDI was actually the proximity. SDI is in Bristol, Pennsylvania, or Bristol Borough, Pennsylvania, and
Hmm.
I actually grew up in Bristol Township. So
Oh,
SDI
I didn't
was
know that.
yeah, right down the street. Very convenient. But not only that, I feel like I entered in SDI during a very transformative period. We were going through a lot of changes, and I think one of the big missions or the biggest changes that we had was rebranding ourselves to a digital supply chain company. And I was really excited by the idea. I really liked where our company was growing. And along with that, I saw a lot of opportunity for growth myself. So, um,
I mean, gosh, I mean, you've really taken advantage of that opportunity. You're right. The company's growing and repositioning as a digital supply chain company is really attracting a lot of um, I guess more diverse talent, so to speak. So you have that history in business school, and what's been your biggest surprise since coming into the supply chain space and working in the procurement space in particular with SDI?
I think uh, it's been a learning experience, and the crazy part is I've been doing this for over 3 years now, and I just continue to learn. It's really dynamic. I think it's part of the market. We can see with the pandemic, everything's changed. Commodity prices, and just our relationship with suppliers. And I
Hmm.
would say the biggest surprise is how much it can. I've been here for 3 years, and how much it continues to change, continuously changes, and just how fast we adapt and learning new skills to meet our client needs. So I
Yeah.
think that is it.
Everybody's been so great at agility, and especially, and since that's what we provide our customers, is that resiliency in their supply chain. And I mean, speaking about the pandemic, I mean, are there any trends that you're seeing as a procurement professional that are shifting now, now that we're kind of getting towards hopefully the light at the end of the tunnel here with the pandemic?
I can say that been a lot harder than I thought it would. I
Hmm.
know that during the pandemic, there's a lot of shortages with safety supplies and PPE supplies, and you would think that, or you would hope that after, we're coming to the end of the light, pricings will be adjusted again. But I've noticed that it affected the industry as a whole. So
Hmm.
just trying to juggle that for my clients, trying to bring the supply base back to what we consider normal. But
Right.
normal these days is not the norm. It's a different baseline. So just trying to manage that part of it and finding a new balance and a new
Yeah.
a new way to source for our clients and just to make sure that they're still saving money
No, I
regardless of
like
the
that.
effects of the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, because a little bit of that is the bullwhip effect from the supply and demand shock that we experience globally. But also, I mean, I feel like it kind of the pandemic made a case for managing, especially MRO and PPE, more strategically, and so supply chain's kind of having its day, right? And that's great that we still have people that are committed to it, that are out there like you, seeing seeing the trends and helping our clients kind of prepare for what's next. What since you've been here, I mean, obviously the pandemic has been the most difficult challenge that we've all had to overcome together. Have there been any other challenges that you've had to overcome, maybe personally or professionally, that you've really learned from, and that how you overcame it could be helpful for others?
One of the biggest challenges I actually had was working from home.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, at first it was like a great opportunity. But after a while I realized it was hard for me to like have these meetings, over Zoom. I prefer the, in-person interactions, especially when you're working with a team of people. The
Mm-hmm.
nice part of being in the office is that everyone was there and you can kind of tap on someone's shoulder. We're all in a collaborative room. We're looking at the same whiteboard and then we're having, projectors up. So I think one of the challenges I experienced was just kind of managing that change.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and in terms of our clients, yeah, I feel like having the in-person interaction with our clients um, is a lot more effective in certain ways, and you're able to build those relationships. So I think, that's one of the challenges is being remote and overcome. I mean, I think overall we've all gotten better over time,
Yeah.
but there are still aspects of that I do miss.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm so tired of people telling me that, oh, sorry, I was on mute. It's like, well, let's just give people a moment to unmute themselves before we assume that they're, playing Minecraft or something while you're talking. Um,
Right. No,
but
I agree.
yeah, meeting face to face. Like I said, I'm used to seeing you every day, and this is the first time we're even talking in a year. It's just kind of crazy. And so you miss that. I miss the social aspect of it. I didn't think I would so much, but I'm isolated and in my house with my children for a year. You kind of get like, oh, I'm gonna be on video with Jen. So this is the highlight of my day, actually. Um,
Nice.
so
Thank you. This is mine too.
yeah.
I don't think I haven't seen many people from the off. I mean, I speak to them often, but I haven't actually had as much video on camera facing. So this is nice.
Yeah, it is nice. And like I said, it's the month of March currently, and we're highlighting the essential women in supply chain, and you're definitely essential here. So, what's something you're really proud of as accomplishing at SDI, or just in general, but mostly like something you want to brag about? Why don't you tell me about
I
something?
want to brag about how far I've come in this company. So I started off as someone in SDI, like I said, I started off as a procurement specialist. So for I was always interested in, procurement. That's obviously the career path I wanted to pursue. But at that time, I really didn't know much about it. So the nice thing about working with a small company is that you do get involved in many different aspects of the business, and you're able to learn at a fast pace. So I'm most proud of how far I've come. I mentioned earlier that I've been to maybe like 3 or 4 different roles now. Some of them were an adjustment, but I think having those different experiences has given me the knowledge to be able to perform the job that I have today.
Yeah.
So it's nice to look back, and it feels like just yesterday that I was the one asking all the questions, and now it feels like I'm the resource for a lot of people. So it's very rewarding, and I'm so happy that I've had these opportunities with SDI.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's one of the things. We're not a that small a company, but we're small enough that we're learning and growing together. And the fact that your experiences have compounded, it all adds up to bring you where you are today. So, I mean, would you say that being a resource for people and being able to help others is one of the rewarding parts of your job?
Oh
What?
yeah, absolutely. I love being a resource to others.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always the type that reach out, hey, do you need help with this? Do you need help with that? So um, especially, and I think my role now, being someone who's more familiar with, technology and Excel and all the things, I think I have been able to help, my fellow colleagues. So it's like I said, to me, it's never anything, never a bother or anything, but I love doing that. I love helping others where I can and helping them to make their jobs more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not never boring. I'll tell you that. Like every day is different, right? In terms of who you can help and what a difference you're making. Um, and you're working with our clients directly. So how do you know what you're doing, the knowledge that you have, the resources that you bring to the table, that value? How do you know that the customer sees it, that it's making a difference for them?
For the nice thing about me is that in my role we do have savings reports, and so we are able to report our savings each month, and we have these monthly meetings with our clients, and we tell them about the projects that we're executing, and obviously all of our projects focus on creating efficiencies for them and driving hard dollar savings for them. So
Mm-hmm.
I think once we have those meetings and we communicate with our clients, like, listen, like in the past 3 months, these are what we've been doing, this is how much money we're saving you, and this has been the feedback or how your people on site, the maintenance guys, have received it. So I think we're lucky because we have this formal reporting structure in place, so
Mm-hmm.
we're able to clearly articulate our value to our clients.
That's great. I mean, that's one of the key things that from the sales side, and I work with sales mostly, is that we're always trying to impart that on potential clients that it's the process. The savings come from a couple different areas. It's your piece price savings, but then also the processing of the transactions, the downtime that you're eliminating, and so being able to show them the hard dollar savings, having that, like you said, reporting structure in place, it's so impactful to show them how the investment that they've made in thinking about their MRO differently, which is our mission, is to help people think about their MRO differently. Um,
Hmm.
the investment that they've made in it, the time that they put into it, is definitely they're definitely seeing the value in that. They're getting the ROI, and so it's great that you can demonstrate that to them and show them something tangible. Like here's
Hmm.
where it's making a difference. That's got to be hugely rewarding, especially now while while the supply chain, like we said, is having its day. People are more aware of the impact of supply chain on their operations overall, especially those essential critical spares and PPE materials. After 3 years, you've learned a lot. You've come through a lot. And what advice would you give somebody coming in? We've got tons of new recruits coming into SDI every day now.
Yeah, it's exciting. We're getting so many emails. Our company is growing. Especially after the pandemic. It's so exciting to see how much the company is still growing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Advice for new employees: learn as much as you can, ask as many questions as possible. We're all here to help. I haven't met a single person who's unwilling to help another person. So I think maybe the challenge with new hires is that we're not in the office yet per se. So I understand there could be some challenges with the learning curve, learning remotely.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just recommend them to take advantage. Everyone here is a resource. So, schedule times with your peers that you need help with. And we're, like I said, we're more than, I know from personal experience, I am more than willing to help. I actually get excited when people ask me for help. So, just ask questions, don't be shy, and yeah, don't be afraid to make mistakes either. Everything here, will work with you through it. So, just be willing to learn, and I think that's the best thing you can get out of it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen Nguyen. Thanks for being with us and for being one of SDI's essential women in supply chain.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is great.